Sure. Iowa obviously is disappointed by the outcome. We've put it to bed since then, and we're well into Utah. But tale of two halves. Certainly had some critical errors in the first half that didn't lead to us having a lead, which I thought we probably could have had if we hadn't made those critical errors. And then, with 8 minutes left in the third quarter, it's still 3-0 game. And then things turned, and the offense, couldn't stay on the field, and the defense was on too long. And we had some breakdowns in fundamentals, some breakdowns, it just led to them having some big plays, and give them credit. They capitalized on our mistakes. That's football. And that led to, from 3-0 to 33-0 in a quick span there. And then it was good that we ended the game on a positive note, going down and getting one of our own. But certainly feel like we squandered our opportunities in the first 2.5 quarters. And then, in the last quarter and a half, it certainly wasn't good enough in any way, shape, or form. So learn from it, use it, correct it, move on from it. And that's what we're well into now, with one practice under our belt and getting into this afternoon, going into another one. And with Utah coming in, Donna alluded to it, first Pac-12 team ever coming in here. I think that's a statement in of itself that we have Utah coming in, which we're excited about. Like I said before, I know Coach Winningham just by meeting him one time in the spring. Certainly have respect for his program and what he's done through the course of time there, in his longevity there. And they're a good football team. They're fast, they're physical, they're well coached in all three phases. Outstanding punter, probably the best that I've seen on film as far as being a good athlete, making decisions, and they give him a lot of freedom to run around and make plays back there. Certainly defense is an attacking style defense, and they play it well. They're going to challenge you in everything that you try to do. And offensively, they have great skill and have a nice scheme that allows them to utilize that skill. So certainly going to be a challenge for us this week, and one that we have to meet head on. And I like the way our guys got on practice yesterday. Certainly I'm looking forward to them getting on and practicing well today and moving on with the game plan. So with that, I'll open it up for questions. I think we had it going, and then I think it stalled, is what it really was. When you look at the film, we were moving the ball at will with backs averaging 6, 5, and 4 yards per carry. We had to move, and we had a couple drops that were early in the game that were crucial after the block punt. And certainly had a penalty and a sack that were critical errors. So I don't think it was a matter of getting them, the offense moving. I think it was a matter of that we stopped it when it was moving. And then in the third quarter, I absolutely think that's right. Late in the third and in the fourth until the end, I think that was absolutely the case, is that we were in second and medium a ton in our three and outs that we had quite a bit. And certainly didn't get it moving from there, and give Iowa some credit on that, but certainly we feel like that was within our control when you're sitting there 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. So agree with you a little bit, disagree with you some. Yeah, you just had some critical moments on a sack, on a penalty, on a drop, where I think that you can eliminate those things and get those things out of there. I believe those drives are going to end a lot differently.
Rod, do you feel like you have home run hitters on this offense who can possibly play against quality defenses, or does your offense have to be more one of those, let's just keep moving?
Well, that's a fair question because of what you saw on Saturday. I think I know where you're coming from with that. We have explosive players. I think what you have to understand inside of what you saw on Saturday, Iowa doesn't allow you to get a big play. That's how their whole set up. They're not going to allow you to run by somebody, even if you have a matchup that you feel good about. They're going to have two guys and then react to the run. I think that's why you saw the run game working like it was. And I thought the backs showed that they were explosive, and they still rallied. And some of those 15-yard runs, they held the 15, 20 yards. And certainly if the defense is set up differently, when you break through, sometimes those are home runs. So we have the players. I think that was a combination of execution on our part in some cases, and in some just the defense that you're playing. They were going to keep everything in front of you.
You guys working on hoping to get the running backs a little more involved in offense?
Sure, I think we had them involved nicely, and then it's really challenging in a situation where you are running the ball effectively and then you have a penalty that gets you to 1st and 20. Those are hard downs. I don't care if you're running it or passing or what you're calling. Those are hard things to do. Some of those cases we elected to throw it, and so that maybe led to, well, they were running it good, why don't you keep running it? Well, we're 1st and 20. Or 3rd and 12, and you feel like you have to go ahead and attempt to get it, where a run sometimes is a little riskier in that case. But our running backs, I'd love to have more carries. I think we have to stay on schedule and eliminate those critical errors that we had to be able to do that. I thought they played well, not consistent. And I think that's about as good as I can say it for the entire offense. You're looking at an Iowa team that has one of the, in my estimation, will probably be one of the best fronts in that league. I'm not going to call it the best, but probably one of the best fronts. And we are handling it and moving them. And then there are other times we're giving up a critical sack or a fumble from a pressure and things like that. So, again, I think they played good, but not consistent. And we need more consistency out of them, for sure. Well, I think the the outburst that you saw was after the interception in the first half. He came over and he was really frustrated. I put my arm around him. I said, "All right, it's done. Now let's talk about that real quick so we can learn from it." And I go, "Yes," because he said a little better throw, coach, and that's 6. And I go, "Yes, absolutely." So that's where it starts. We need a better pass, but let's think about the decisions before that. And we have 3 on the board there. We're down in there tight. You feel good about that field goal being made to tie it up 3-3. So there's no reason to attempt that throw. And I said, now that we've talked about it, learn from it, use it, move on. It isn't going to be the last time he's in that situation. So we got to prepare him for the next time he's in that situation. And I thought he responded well. Marcus didn't play well. And I think he'll say that, and I've told that to him. We've talked about it, and he agrees. And certainly when you're not performing the way you want to perform, that's frustrating. But you have to get to the reasons why, and that's what we've done. And I think our guys are going to attack this week. Well, they have so far attacked this week in a whole different manner.
How excited are you to have right here?
Yeah, I am, and it's a little bit of excitement and what's the word I'm looking for here, and like hesitation too, because I have no familiarity with them. So it's super excited. Just, it's Utah coming in. I mean, that's obviously a great program. But a little hesitant because I don't really know a ton about them. But sometimes that's exciting too. You just kind of go out and play, and you kind of let it all hang loose. So I think that's certainly adds the excitement, and should. And I know this university and community, it's our first home game. I know they'll support us, and I know that there'll be a big, there's being a big push on tickets right now, and love to make that thing into what it has been at times through my tenure here, which is a huge home field advantage. Yeah, well, we knew it was going to be challenging going into the season, right? And so it didn't get any easier this week, I can tell you that. But certainly we're up for the challenge, and our kids are excited about it. I think our kids have a resolve this week, as we all do. So we got to focus on us. We got to get better. And we have to make that jump that you traditionally do in week 1 to week 2 as far as improvement when you look at across the span of the whole season. But that's where our mindset is. But certainly excited about the opportunity.
What's that transition like going from, you said last week, you know everything about Iowa, you recruited a lot of those kids, totally doing very well, and then go into kind of the opposite this week.
Yeah, I think that it does just probably what I was talking about earlier is it just really puts the focus on you, because there isn't a lot of this and that, and you always try to stay focused on yourself. That's the key to being a good football team. But with not having much knowledge of it, more than what you see on the film, and what you know, that it really does just put the onus on you.
The big difference offensively, what they run and what you saw.
Oh, completely different. I mean, you know, Utah is I want to, you know, that word spread is overused. They're not a 22 and 13 personnel team, although they do some of those things. You know, they want to run the football. It just looks different than Iowa. In the gun, in a lot of 11, in 12 obviously too, in some 10. The personnel groupings are there, but their premise is running the football, and they add the quarterback into that too. I mean, yeah, I think as soon as I say something like that, then I have Iowa fans mad at me for saying, well, we just beat you and you don't think we're any good and all that. They're so two different teams, but they're really good teams. And I haven't played Utah yet. I have a lot more knowledge about Iowa. Iowa's a really good football program, a really good team. Like, Iowa did not come out and play bad. Like, we played pretty well, and I think we were doing pretty well there for 2.5 quarters. Utah, from what you see on film, does it differently, but it's the same mentality, except a little reversed. They're going to attack more on defense, and they're going to run the ball on offense, and they're dynamic in the kicking game.
What have you seen out of offense?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of things. If I sat up here and said, well, I'm not optimistic at all, I think we're awful on offense. No, I mean, I don't think that's ever my attitude with our offense. We have good football players on that offense. We have dynamic football players. I think we played a really good defense. I think we played a whale of a half with some critical errors, maybe a half and part of a quarter. We just need to finish. And I think we can do that. What I saw on Saturday leaves a lot of room for improvement. And that's a 3-0 game for 2.5 quarters. So I think that alone leaves you pretty darn optimistic. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If I was expecting not to finish, I don't think. Yeah. No, I think I was surprised by the critical errors. I think part of that could be some of the youth we have going on out there, that it was that situation. But we had put them in a lot of adverse situations in fall camp and talked about in practice start and do it, and we had still finished. So, yeah, there was definitely a surprise there.
They don't play in Turner Stadium. It's small.
Yeah, the crowd will be a big deal. I've said it. When this place is packed, it's as good a home field advantage as I've been around in the country. And I know it's only 24,000 at max capacity, but we're loud. It's on top of you. We have a good, really, really good atmosphere when that thing's packed. And I'm not lessening anybody else or comparing it to 100,000 seat stadium. I'm just saying ours is pretty dang good. And so for it to be packed on Saturday would be a big deal to us. It can at times. I'm telling you, I've heard the roars. I've been a part of on-the-road roars and home roars when it's packed, and the feeling isn't much different. One team's rooting for it, one team's not. But besides that,
How is
I think he's upset. I don't think that's the wrong word. I know he's upset. I didn't have to say much to him. I just went to him in the third quarter, and he goes, "Coach, you put me in position. I'm going to win this thing for you." That's what he said in the third quarter to me. I go, "I know you will." So he was aggravated. He was irritated. I still got a lot of confidence in him. Now, listen, me having confidence in him doing it and executing are two different things. So he's got to go out and execute. He understands that. How do you execute in games? Really simple. You got to prepare harder. That was a message to the entire team. He's no different. Our preparation needs to get better. We played 2.5 quarters of good football and a quarter and a half awful. So we need to prepare harder so we can get 4 quarters of good football.
You guys watched on to develop an act for that last year. Obviously, you spent a lot of time.
Yeah, well, and I think that first credit goes to our players on that. Second credit goes to Coach Sabak. I think he's doing a whale of a job coordinating our special teams. And third, obviously, we devote a lot of time to that as a staff. It's a third of the game, and so we take it serious. And it's nice to see it pay off because sometimes you can have the perfect situation line up like we did, and you can miss the ball, off the punter's foot. You see that a lot, don't you? And we didn't miss it. Now, I wish it wouldn't have bounced sideways. I wish we were straight back, but can't control the way that thing bounces sometimes.
Nettles have more than twice as many carries as any of the other backs. A little bit ahead of the other ones we got.
Well, I think we said we were going to play the hot hand, and I think all 3 ran really well. I think he had a little bit of a hot hand right there. And so that's probably why we did what we did. And it's the wrong word. That's why we did what we did. That's a constant competition in that room. We have 3 good running backs. We want to see all of them get better at protection and catching the ball as well. But as far as just running the ball, I think you saw that on Saturday. We have 3 really good running backs. And I have a lot of confidence that competition is going to keep all those guys going. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Marcus is our guy. Marcus did not play good, and I think that, it was a situation where those are all easily correctable, and I still believe he gives us the best chance to win, and that's not even anything we've even remotely talked about.
Defensive line, Jawan Wesley, wide receiver, Marcus Jones, running back, Albert Smiles, cornerback. We'll take questions for the rest of the players.
It's early yet, you only have one practice since you guys. What's the feeling in terms of how well you guys have put that shake it off?
Marcus Jones.
It's been pretty good. We have high energy going forward. We're looking past last week. We're trying to rebound this week, so we're getting back to the basics. Learning from last week, learning from film, and really trying to move forward.
Coach Carey came in to meet on Sunday, yesterday on Monday, and he said, just put the game behind us because we know we went out there and we didn't execute the game plan, so we got to come back out to practice this week, execute the game plan, and hopefully come out with a W.
Juwan.
Really, just getting locked back in into a new week. We plan to take everything week by week, but this is a new week, lock in, and focus on what we have, the task at hand.
It was important to watch the game, just learn, the mistakes we had, things we did do well, and then just flush it and get ready for Utah this week. So we're excited to get back in the film room, get on the practice field, and start new again.
What side are you guys?
Robert.
This is very exciting because this is new for our school. Nobody's ever played a Pac-12 team here at our school, so it's a big challenge for us, and we're ready to step up to it.
Definitely a big challenge. It's more of an out of conference. One of the top Pac-12 teams. Utah coming in, and we're looking to bring everything from the MAC to the Pac-12.
We're excited. Especially after last week, we had a tough game going in, so we're really trying to bounce back and really continue to roll. We're just excited to get back out there. We got some stuff to fix, and we gotta learn a lot about Utah first. But so far, it looks like a good team, and it's gonna be a good challenge. I think we're up for it. I thought we felt looking good enough. I was big up front, but that's not an excuse. We got to execute. We're looking forward to being positive about this week. Going back to the basics, doing what we do. We know we can run the ball. We're trying to run the ball more this week. guess this is just what did you see last week? Something specific that makes you feel optimistic.
Juan?
Being able to move the ball in certain situations, but more importantly, we gotta finish every drive we get. So that's one thing we look on focus on.
You know, I think we were as a team. I think we felt ready for that game. We felt confident for that game. And I think we weren't scared for that game. And I think that's important, especially with our non-conference. We feel like we're ready to play all these teams, and we want to do that.
I mean, for 2 quarters and a half, we were in a football game. You know, it just snuck up on us in the third quarter, and you know they put away with the game. You know, towards the end, but like going into that game, we were real confident. Everybody knew the game plan. You know what had to be done. We practiced well, and everything. You know, it just put away from us at the end.
Yeah, like feedback on what they're saying. Iowa's a really good team, and we're also a really good team. So, and we followed them for 2.5 quarters, and we made a lot of mistakes. We left a lot of points on the field, and a lot of things we could have fixed. So, if we fix those things, this week and next week, it's got to win it for us.
That's where Marcus and I will follow up and mention the conference. I think it's very confidence going in last week. What does that look like this week?
Confidence is always there. You know, we feel like we're one of the best defenses in the nation. So confidence is always going to be there, regardless. And as a team, like I said, we put everything behind us, and we're gonna go and we're gonna keep going week by week this year, this season. So we got Utah coming up, and we're gonna handle that first.
Yeah, I think I agree with Bert. Our confidence is always going to be there. Again, it's important to flush last week's game, learn from it, but flush it, and then just get back to next week, get ready for the next game. I think that's the most important part. And I don't think the confidence will fall off from that. So I think if it does, you know, the season rolls so fast, that can be an issue. I think we're aware of that.
How about coming home? Just a general question about the, having the first game at the stadium and playing at the stadium again.
It feels good, especially after a loss. You get your home crowd, get the energy going. You get to play your own fans, and it's something that we really look forward to, and that's something that really just makes it pride to play freshman football. It's just good to be back home. Something we're used to. We're accustomed to being in Husky Stadium and the routine, everything about it. I think it's the comfort thing is the biggest part, at least for me, at least. Just being used to the situation you're about to walk into, the environment. That's the biggest part.
Playing at home is very important. Securing a home win victory would be most important, and then being played with home fans gives us a little more energy boost. We're at home, more comfortable, like Michael said.
Just to piggyback what all of them said, coming at home gonna be great to play. You know, our atmosphere, our field, our turf, and we're ready to defend it.
How would it work? How would it work to set the expectation like that? I don't really want to. It's just you and that one.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, it was huge. They even got defense going. But we're playing lights out for the first quarter and a half. I mean, half for so everybody with juice. They got me juice. They got the team juice, and we're playing strong.
Albert and then Marcus, what do you see out of Utah's offense that impresses you?
Going into the week, no matter what, we gotta stop the run. We as a defense, we have to stop the run. Their offense is very athletic. The quarterback likes to scramble around, throw the ball. So first we gotta stop the run, and we gotta stop the pass.
Yeah, I think they're so far with this team. They have a pretty big O-line up front, and the speed. Their skill guys are pretty athletic. They can move pretty well. We gotta keep the quarterback contained too. I think that's a big part of it.
Coach also said that totally different than what we saw last week in Iowa. Basically the same thing where they're more spread out and not a lot of different plays and plays that you see last week.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa last week you're in a phone booth. You get 2 tight ends, 2 fullbacks, it's everyone's right there, and this is more spread out. You're getting 2, 3 receivers, 4 receivers, tight ends off the ball. So it's different, but they still want to run the ball. You gotta understand that it's not they're just spreading you out to throw it the whole time. You gotta stop the run first and foremost.
Yeah, 'cause, like coming off of Iowa and playing this team like a big RPO team. Iowa's more in the center, so they got a run play call as a run play. Playing Utah as a run play and as a pass on the same play, so we gotta have our eyes right in the secondary. And you gotta stop the run, you gotta stop the pass.